Hi, I'm Mike, going to the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for September 10th, 2021. So a few pre-orders I want to tell you guys about. The first one is an Oasis live concert that they just announced. This is Nebworth 1996, great set list. That's getting released November 19th, 2021. Also, there's a new Abba album coming out, Voyage. First Abba album in 40 years. Not really an Abba fan, but apparently it's a big deal. So that is out November 5th. Also, they are doing a remix of Pink Floyd's A Momentary, Lapse, a Reason. I'm guessing this is going to be a thing now. You know, the Beatles are doing it, a lot of bands are doing it. Now Floyd is getting in the game. 2 LP remix. There's also a deluxe box CD DVD box set that's going to have some surround sound mixes and some outtakes. But yeah, that's coming out October 29th. Okay, so because of the holiday and UPS failing me, most of the stuff I was going to show you is not here. But I have a list. I can kind of talk to you guys about the new arrivals. Now, I'm actually due to get that truck in later today. So midday, Thursday, watching this video, that stuff should populate on the website. You can always see the newest stuff that comes into the store. If you go to the main page, www.theingroove.com, the main page, new arrivals, that's going to be the, not restocks, but the newest items in the store. So when an item is brand new, freshly created, it goes on that front page. So a few things. Iron Maiden's newest album was supposed to come out last week. I am going to get a small amount of them in later today. Also this week, the new Metallica Black Album, another remix. That is coming in, it looks like as a standard LP set, and there's also a box set, but that might not even come in till even after tomorrow, today, depending on when you're watching this. Few other releases. There are a couple music on vinyl titles. There's the 38 Special Collected I should have. I want to say there's a Digital Underground, a couple Digital Underground titles, Sex Packets. Actually, I saw them live at the Arizona State Fair. It was actually quite good. You know, Humpty Dance, Fake Nose, the whole nine. It was actually a good show. I enjoyed it. It was actually a hip-hop oriented show. So it was like Coolio, Curtis Blow, Digital Underground, maybe Cypress Hill. It was actually quite a good show. And if I remember, it was like a $5 State Fair show, but yeah, not a bad show for $5. Looks like there is also a music on vinyl. Maybe that's music on vinyl. I'm not 100% sure. Tangerine Dream, Zeit. There is also a Tiffany, I think we're alone now, picture disc. And there's another music on vinyl titled UFO Force It, Deluxe Edition. But yeah, that's some of the stuff that is coming out this particular week. I just haven't gotten it yet. I'll show you guys these titles again next week when I actually have them in person and I can show them to you. But there is some of the arrivals came in, and I've got some restocks to show you. The first title is actually a restock. And now this is kind of weird. I'm going to have to look into this. So this is a title that's been in print a while. John Coltrane's Giant Steps. The original version of this was pressed at Rainbow Records, which is now gone. And it also said cut by Kevin Gray at Acoustic Mastering. This no longer says that, so this might be a recut. It just says cut from the flat master. So don't know how good this is. That's a little bit sparse as far as information goes. But yeah, a lot of Rhino stuff is analog, and the last version of this was analog. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, new garbage. This is an import, but their self-titled album. There's actually, so I got the self-titled album, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm actually supposed to get, yeah, I'm going to have 2.0 in today as well. So self-titled and 2.0. Couple more of these, couple Ohio Players titles. Now, I've showed you guys some stuff by this reissue label before. You can always tell because they do everything super limited. They're one pressing titles. They're one and done. You essentially get them now. Typically they sell out and I never get them again. They're doing 1,000 of these on translucent red vinyl. So we've got Ohio Players Fire and we've got Honey. Both of them are limited to 1,000. One's on red. Honey is on translucent orange vinyl. Although they don't call it orange vinyl. We're going to call it translucent honey vinyl. That makes more sense. DRI, Trash Zone. Gabo Zabora. Dreams. Now this is weird. So this is something that we've had in recently, but this isn't a restock. So this is another variation of that recent pressing. I don't know why manufacturers are doing this. They're not keeping things in stock. They're doing like these limited edition, you know, they'll do 1,000 of them, then they'll do 500 of them, and they're changing the barcode on them every time they do it. I'm thinking this is one of those type of titles. Okay, we did get a couple of restocks in. All right, back in stock from Impex, Legrand Jazz, Michael Legrand. This is actually a fantastic record. Let's see if I can get this on camera here. This is kind of the who's who of the jazz world in its day. Miles Davis, Coltrane, Bill Evans, Ben Webster, Phil Woods, Paul Chambers. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Pretty much everybody was on this record. It's a fantastic sounding record, and musically it's a fantastic record as well. I highly recommend this. Looks like it's part of the Number series, so this is probably the tail end of the Number series. They made 3,000 of these. We've got 2766, so yeah, that's going to be the end of these. Also, restock from Org Music. Coltrane Plays the Blues. These are also numbered. I want to say they did 2,500 of these. That is number 1,474. The wait on these was a long time. I got a little chunk of these in the other day, and then I've got the rest of them today. All right, we got a self-titled Skid Row record. Now, I showed this last week, but the one I showed last week was on gold vinyl. This is actually a more limited version of it. This is on silver vinyl. The silver vinyl was exclusive to one specific distributor. The gold vinyl was more of a mass release. Skid Row, silver vinyl. Okay. Also, from Impex, Dave Brubeck's Time Further Out. Fantastic record. Impex, one of my favorite labels. I mean, their stuff is unbelievably good. If you haven't tried something yet, find something you like, something you think you might like. You know, you can just go on the website, search Impex. They don't have a ton of titles, maybe 10 or 11 titles in their whole catalog, but their stuff is fantastic. Okay, a big chunk of Tone Poet restocks came in. Duke Pearson, The Phantom. One of my favorite Tone Poet titles. Duke Ellington's Money Jungle. This was out of stock for some time. I kind of have high hopes for the fact that I'm starting to see these Tone Poets again. I know the most hotly anticipated Tone Poet, the Chet Baker, self-titled, is well over $100 now, but they're not out of print. They're making them one at a time. Curtis Amy, Katanga, fantastic record. I actually really dig the Waiting Game too. These are all good. These, if you're a jazz fan, you should be all over these Tone Poets. Tina Brooks, The Waiting Game, fantastic record. Kenny Drews on piano. Philly Joe Jones on drums. Donald Byrd, Bird in Flight, another fantastic Tone Poet. Hank Mobley's Poppin'. This is another one that's actually really good. Passing Ships by Andrew Hill. This is a 2-disc Tone Poet. Ron Carter on bass. This was a title that until it came out I've actually never had heard, but fantastic record. Andrew Hill, Black Fire. Keep in mind, most of the Tone Poets, except for the more modern titles, the titles that were recorded, you know, in the last 20, 30 years, are all analog, cut from the original master tapes by Kevin Gray. The sound on them is fantastic. All pressed and plated by RTI in a Stoughton tip-on jacket. I mean, the absolute best you're going to get a record. Couple of analog productions, reissues, Duke Ellington's Jazz Party in Stereo. This is an absolute audiophile quality demo disc. Fantastic record. Now part of the Verve series titles, all analog tip-on jacket. Got a restock of John Coltrane's ballads. Don't know where Love Supreme is. That's what came with this, but haven't seen Love Supreme since it originally came out, but I did get a restock in of Ballads. Fantastic record. I mean, unbelievable. For the money, I mean, I wish these guys could actually pump out more records because the quality of these is just unbelievable. For $34.99. Another Verve title, Clifford Brown and Max Roach, Study in Brown. This was a title when it came out I was a big fan of because impossible to find a clean copy of this, an original. Same thing with this Peggy Lee Black Coffee. This is a fantastic title. One of the titles that if I'm playing in the store, it almost always sells. And one of the more recent Verve reissue titles, Sonny Rollins on Impulse. I think this just came out a month ago. Sold out of them, got a few more in. Fantastic. All right, guys, that is it. Unfortunately, most of the stuff I would have been able to show you is not here. But again, later today, it'll be on the website, on the main page. All right, guys, don't forget to check us out online, www.theingroove.com. Until next time.